Damn, our last game was a true hit. I am glad those 3 years of hard work paid off. I bet if we keep working hard, Dragon Age Exodus will be even better.
Yeah, let's ask EA what we should do.
You get 9 months. Larry the Janitor also made this dungeon asset. You have to use it 300 times per quest. Oh, and Larry didn't know what Exodus was, so call it something cool and interesting. My god, it's all coming together. And the big number to it was, I adore this game and still think this is one big mess. What should have been an epic story of political and hierarchical intrigue with nuances of racism in which no one path is the right one, turned out to be the story of Hawk, Mr. Big Dick Extraordinaire, stealing it from the rich and keeping it to himself. While it does present flashes of stellar writing, it is plagued by horrible game decisions. And really, what did you expect when this was probably engraved at their offices?
And that's when you press a button, something awesome has to happen. So button awesome.
This is gonna take a while, so I think I'll just start it by the X this game depicts. I'll introduce characters as they come along and focus on what I consider some of the most important quests and topics. Either that or funny stuff. The Prologue, or 5 Women and a Virgin. Starting the game we see... I think they left out some of the races. I know it's because the story had to be more streamlined to facilitate the rushed production, but this is really disappointing. But I guess it does come down to how you play role-playing games. Do you prefer making your own character and choosing their beliefs at the cost of reduced narrative precision? Or do you prefer a more tightly written plot with a protagonist which already has a pre-established personality? Or in this case, 3 of them. We will get to those, but while you can mix and match, Dragon Age 2 deviates drastically from what Origins did and what Inquisition will eventually do. Anyway, let's evaluate our options. For the gender, it really doesn't matter. All the romance options are Hawk-sexual, so whatever you choose, they'll happily bang you. There is only one straight romance option, and he is the equivalent of wearing a chastity belt during church. So you are not losing much. Thusly, we are going solely on talent, so like in all Bioware games, the female protagonist wins. No disrespect to Mr. Bolton, but he sounds about as bored as I am. Also, female Hawk is just serious voice actress, so yeah. Design-wise though, male Hawk clearly wins this one. I mean, it's very fucking generic man with beard, but he looks kinda awesome. I like to think of him as a somewhat improved Shepard, as someone who looks both generic and iconic at the same time. The female though... yeah, she looks like some random girl you find at 4 AM in a pub. The generic girl that tries to tell you that your spirit animal is a fucking coyote. The short hair girl who goes around traveling through India in her free time. Did it sound very specific? Because it is. Anyway, her design is very bland. The champion armor though for all the classes is interesting. Personally, my favorite one is the warrior because it looks really fucking noble and cool. Very well put together, unlike the other two. Objectively though, the mage one is the best because it's so fucking unique. I have absolutely no fucking problem calling this the canon one. And for the 3 people who like the rogue armor the best, please get help, I'm worried about you. How many belts do you need? As for the class, that is a tad more difficult. It does have narrative implications. This entire game revolves around the Mage-Templar conflict after all. Not only that, but your class determines the fate of one of your siblings. I usually choose warrior since I think it's the coolest, plus you get to fight alongside your sister, while Mr. School Shooter here only bothers you for 3 minutes. Same thing happens for the rogue, which I consider utterly worthless and only viable if you wish for the Hawk siblings to be a full triangle of classes. Also, trust me, if you are after comedy shit like I am, you'll pretty much have 2 rogues with you at all times anyway. But sadly, the mage is what most people consider canon, so we are going with that. So I have to deal with Napoleon Dynamite. Starting off, holy shit, women are arresting little people. If Bioware didn't prove its love for overdone movie tropes, this entire game is narrated by the best character in the game, Varric. And yes, he is an unreliable narrator, openly lying either to embellish the facts or to protect his friend. So yeah, this is what the Dragon Age 2 apologists use to defend the game's shitty state. Varric kinda bullshits a lot. It's kind of a crutch, but believe whatever the fuck you want. Also, Cassandra is the one interrogating him. She'll be relevant some other time. His story leads us into the tutorial in which you turn on console commands and one-shot everyone until a dragon shows up.
Bullshit. That's not what really happened.
But in reality we begin...
We can't just wander aimlessly. So long as we wander aimlessly away from the Horde, I'm happy.
Wow, what a hero. We also get a good look at the choice wheel, which now depicts the 3 personalities of Hawk: boring, dick, or epic LOL troll. Anyway, we meet Big Barda Evelyn and her husband, who is only here to make a boomer joke.
The wrath of the Templars is terrible indeed.
More so their wives.
The fuck you say to me, you little shit!
And then die. Why the hell are you even wearing armor, dude? After trying to escape, an ogre comes along and Bethany thought it was a good idea to charge it. As a mage. Only the smartest seed was used in the making of these children.
I will never forget you, Bethany.
Nice save there, mommy. Just admit you forgot her name. Everything goes to shit, we get saved by a dragon, and finally Flemeth has someone to complete her comedy routine.
Any better suggestions? I hear the deep roads are vacant now.
Oh, you I like.
Also, I always keep imagining that after she was done talking with the warden, she went in and spent like 6 hours putting on this outfit just to impress Hawk. She has a deal which we are pretty much forced to accept. We finally reach Kirkwall and then we arrive at the docks. Nobody is allowed in and I can't whore my way inside.
Surely there's a bit of extra room for the pretty people.
I find keeping my neck away from Knight Commander Meredith's blade far more attractive than any of you.
Well, I do think a lot about what it would be like dying a virgin.
So now we have to wait for our uncle. Everybody has this uncle. If you don't have this uncle, you are that uncle. He can get us in, but he wants us to become bouncers or drug dealers. For like a year. Nothing important. Typical refugee. Just reached the shore and already smuggling cocaine up her rectum. Act 1. Get rich quick scheme. So yeah, dealing crack is kinda sweet. But apparently we need more cash, so we try to smooth up to a short, rich, hairy man. Just a basic Friday for Marion Hawk.
What? Bitch is a gold digger.
His brother Very comes along and proposes a deal. And yes, I too am disappointed that he is not a romance option.
Mr. Lover, lover, lover. I'm Mr. Lover, lover, lover.
But since he is the greatest video game bro ever, I am happy to leave it like that. He joins our party and we are on together more business partners who we apparently never pay. Also, we need like 50k to get into the expedition. First, we have to discuss Kirkwall as a setting. It's claustrophobic, dirty, and looks like a prison. So that part they nailed. Kirkwall is pretty much just the Gotham City of Terrace, where people can't live because the house property is so low and nobody wants to move in. Unlike in the other 2 games, you are stuck here and have to deal with being in the city. From a visual standpoint, it is rather boring to always travel along the same roads and buildings, but it really does come a long way into making this rotten shithole feel like home. This city, even lore-wise, should be razed to the fucking ground, but damn if the chaos isn't fun. On to party members, Evelyn joined the cops.
Aveline! Hello, Hawk.
Bitch. Her mission focuses around making sure her boss gets fired because he's corrupt. The police? No fucking way. Unlike real police shit in which being a snitch breaks your knees, she is promised to become captain after some Starbucks training, I don't know. She is already a top tier fighter and as far as I am aware, Kirkwall doesn't have any laws. So what a captain of the guard needs to learn is how to find a comfy chair, I guess. Next up we need some maps for the expedition and it just so happens that the Grey Warden is in town healing people for free. Damn. Free healthcare. Truly a fantasy world concept.
I have made this place a sanctum of healing and salvation. Why do you threaten it?
Oh fuck, it's the Pussy Man from Awakening! With another voice and a new personality. And boring. Anyway, after breaking in to help his friend, we find out that our boy is a Shaman King fan and allow the Spirit of Justice, also from Awakening, to fuse with him. So instead of 2 cool characters from last time, we get Mr. Half and Half. Anyway, he joins in and do try to keep the flirting to a minimum if you don't plan on romancing him.
So, that explains your whole sexy tortured look.
She wants the dick!
The dude gets really angry if he gets rejected. Freaking incel. We run into choir boy Sebastian, who is DLC, so he doesn't interact much. Also, his voice actor must have either been very high or did all of his lines in one take because he is, well, I wouldn't call it acting.
No. What happened to my family
was murder.
He doesn't join in yet, but he gives us a list of people to kill. Get this, he is a prince from a foreign land whose family is killed and he is trying to reclaim his lands. I think this is the most generic thing Bioware ever wrote. Next up, we get tricked and end up battling slaver people who were sent to kill.
You're going nowhere, slave.
I am not a slave.
Fuck. Who put anime in my Dragon Age? Walked right into that one. Fenris Buster Sword, featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series, is an escaped slave with sick tattoos who help invade the house of a slaver which he keeps as his own. Release date 101. If a tattoo-covered twink boy breaks into your mansion, it's his mansion now. Trust me, you don't want it anymore. Oh, and he hates mages, but that's very subtle. Back at Veric's bar...
Me and my boys will get our money's worth, bitch.
Oh, you poor sweet thing.
we meet Syphilis, Isabella. Fuck, she looks different. My romance option is definitely her, and she wants... I have no fucking idea what she wants really. Her top is open and her G-string is in full view. You can write that she's an alien from planet Xenu and people wouldn't pay attention. She joins in to make jokes and to search for something really important. Foreshadowing is fun. Lastly, we go meet the elves. Such loving people.
I'm not expecting tea and cake.
There's nothing.
Wait.
A Shamlan.
Enter the camp.
Cause trouble.
We are here because Flemeth asked us to be her Amazon delivery crew and put her amulet on an altar. Keeper Marifari points us in the right direction and we meet up with Meryl.
I'm so sorry. I didn't ask your name. Unless... It's not rude to ask a human their name, is it?
My name is Jeff.
Clueless, naive, young, and with a weird accent no one else in her clan has. What the fuck? She is a blood mage who gets ostracized by her people. But these are the Dalish. They could shit in the middle of the road and still look down on you.
I'm sorry. We're good people that look out for each other. Just not today, apparently.
But the Dalish are delightful. I was just thinking of inviting the whole clan over for tea.
I'm sure they'd never accept in a... Oh.
Everybody laughed. That was when I knew I was funny.
With the quest, Flemeth foreshadows some more...
We stand upon the precipice of change. The world fears the inevitable plummet into the abyss. Watch for that moment, and when it comes, do not hesitate to leap. It is only when you fall that you learn whether you can fly.
Cheap advice from a dragon.
Gotcha, bitch!
And then we put Meryl into the elven alienage. See, we planted a tree there. It's totally alright to treat you like slave because we are nice to you. Anyway, Flemeth's appearance is interesting. She expected to be killed in Origins, so we pretty much just revive her. She makes jokes, foreshadows something people were actually surprised by in Inquisition.
Under Anatishan Ashabalanar.
And then fucks off with a speech that I still believe is relevant to the fate of the Hawk. I guess I could talk about the combat and skill trees. If you're a mage, don't bother with anything else besides fire and ice shit at first. Unless you are masochistic enough to turn friendly fire on, you will melt everyone. Bad news, in inventory you can only customize your own clothes. Equipment is varied, but companions only get shitty upgrades to the regular costumes. I mean, I wouldn't cover Isabella up either, but shoving a mask onto Carver would be perfect. We can talk to our brother and go look for the will of our rich grandpa, killing everyone in it and then being sassy at our uncle.
Check out the part where Gamlen is left only a stipend.
Carver also learns that he is named after the Templar who saved our parents. No idea why he named his second child that, since even a male hawk is not named that, but whatever. Guess Malcolm waked up one day and was like, holy shit, Leandra, I know the perfect name for our douchebag son.
Varric. Carver. Still think you're helping while bearing us in debt to your brother?
Still riding side saddle while bitching at your betters?
Drinks later.
Never miss 'em.
On to quests, we need cash. We find this boy whose elf mommy got knocked up by a human, so now neither of them can have fun. The dad went out to buy milk, of course. It's not like he's literally 2 streets over. That's just some epic parenting. This quest will be relevant later, but for now it's just an introduction to our resident Templar Frask. Next up we go over and meet crazy blood mages. Get used to this thing. After we discuss with Cullen, who's back from being a pussy in Origins, we are off to the whorehouse. Nothing ever will be funnier than Brafflehawk.
I won't mention this to your mother if you know.
Sovereigns for premium service, 1 sovereign for standard service. 50 silver and someone may touch you. Briefly.
Oh, if it were up to me, I'd have done this for free.
Don't you provide a service just for girls who've been bad?
I have just the thing.
As divine Aurelia wrote to the Navarans, only the penitent shall regain the Maker's love.
Well, aren't you adventurous? Let's get you some experience, sweetie.
Give me something that will blow my mind.
I have just the thing.
But it was the name of his sled from when he was a little boy.
This was definitely not what I was expecting.
Anyway, this exotic piece of ass tries to make us like snuff, but we ain't king-shaming, so we let her go. We go over, find a Templar named Kieran, just hanging there. Crazy blood magic shit happens, and then we vouch for him so that he can pay for him and his sisters to live. I should interrupt this to talk about combat. While bare bones and simple, it becomes repetitive and boring the fastest out of all Dragon Age games. I know that Varric embellishes his stories, but was there a design reasons to have him go
another one
after each fucking fight? Next up we meet the Qunari and their leader the Arishok. I know they're supposed to be intimidating, but to anyone who plays Civilizations, I cannot get the I'm just standing here meme out of my head. People hate them for that. We go help a nun who is escorting a Qunari mage, and she is such a bitch.
If a member of the Chantry admitted instigation, I have no doubt it would result in more appeasement. But an accusation from a low-town thug? That's not an insult. It's why I chose you.
Fucking Patrice, man. This entire storyline can be just summed up by
Nobody asked for your help, Patrice!
We also have some side quests to take care of.
You run your fingers through it if you want.
Your chest hair. My fingers. Oh, Varric, stop. You're making me quiver.
You know you want to.
Oh, I do. I can't resist you. No woman can.
I know. It's a terrible burden.
Okay, does everything have to be a sex joke with you guys?
Yes. First off, we go to the whorehouse.
I have coin in my purse and time to spare. Why not?
What, you're going with him? Now?
Yes, now. You wait here.
This is just wrong.
And then find the remains of this dude's wife. Damn, I really hope this is not foreshadowing for later events. We can help out a mine owner by killing a dragon. Damn, I wonder if Varric might be bullshitting. Become partners and get the workers to go back to the mine by telling them they can use Isabella if they go back to work.
37! My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks!
In a row?
I mean, we raise their pay, but money equals booze and booze equals happy Isabella. We can collect shit for this herbalist for shits and giggles, I guess. I mean, it's a cool treasure hunt, but it shows up in all the fucking acts or whatever. Since she bumps into us, our last boss asks us to retrieve a package. That's drug talk for crack. We go over, there is a hungry kid, and we give him the cash. Boring shit, yeah. A magister hires us to bring back a mage who locked himself up and stole an elven girl. Her father is understandably upset, but we ain't the sensitive type.
After all he's done? Just because it isn't you and your pretty little shemlin children he's after.
Look at these guards. I doubt either of them has to worry about having pretty children.
You are a cunt.
We go in, deal with the Stockholm Syndrome abused girlfriend. Honey, the voices made me do it, won't hold up in court.
I'll have to remember to use that. A demon made me do it.
There are a lot of cruel people out there, Princess.
We find out the killer is the Magister's son who has done this repeatedly, and we return him against his wishes. That would have been easier, you know? Also, in this act we get to help out the Viscount. He is the mayor, so I'll call him that instead. His son is missing because he is gay for fake throbbing Qunari culture. His boyfriend dies and we rescue him. Families, am I right? Am I right? Carver. The character banter in this game, as always, is fucking top tier.
Nice day to be planning a trip into the deep roads, don't you think? Like, the blight, the dampness, the festering darkness filled with tainted rats.
Shut up.
You've got a real chip on your shoulder, you know.
I've got a big blade on my shoulder, Meiji.
Right. Wonder what you're compensating for.
We finally have the cash from all those odd jobs and we are ready for the deep roads. Oh, and here is the big decision. Your sibling's fate is once again at your fingertips. If you bring him or her alone without Anders in your party, he or she dies of the taint. This is cool if you want to have a last of my line type of shit with Hawk. With Anders though, we can turn them into a Grey Warden, which is kinda boring. Not bringing them along sends them to their what I would say official paths, Bethany getting enlisted in the Circle and Carver joining the Templar Order. With our party of losers, we go in. Bowden and Sandal are also here, and yes, they do mention the incident. We rescue him.
Boom! And how did you do that?
Not enchantment.
My dick, bigger than a bridge. Yo dick, look like a little kid's.
Travel like losers, fight 4 million Darkspawn, and then... Hey, is that a MacGuffin? The Red Idol tells Bartran to lock us up and we have to find another escape plan. After beating some Rocknoon chachos, we find some treasure and bring it back to Kirkwall where we get our estate back. Damn, I love money. Act 2. I'm just standing here. So I'm rich now, that's something. Got my nice mansion, my dwarven slaves. Things are looking up, Hawk. Gee, I sure hope nothing bad happens. Anyway, let's check in with our companions. Nothing much has changed, really. You would imagine I gave some coin to some of them so they can afford to, you know, not live in a shit show? I swear, Ferris not cleaning this mansion for 6 years is such a mood. This chapter is packed with quests, mostly companion related but plot driven as well. Most of the companion chatter will be related to their stance in the Mage Templar dilemma, though in this chapter we can recruit Sebastian after doing his quest. We go into the demon-possessed mansion of the bitch responsible for his family's murder and we free them for the influence of a desire demon who was just doing her job, really. He joins us and now we get to experience the pleasure of listening to paint dry. He does have some funny interactions.
You weren't going to tell me to comfort the needy and give freely of myself.
From what I hear, you already give yourself quite freely.
It's supposed to be Andraste's face on your crotch.
What?
That belt buckle thing. Is that Andraste?
My father had this armor commissioned when I took my vows as a brother.
I'm just not sure I'd want the maker seeing me shove his bride's head between my legs every morning.
But he really is a nothing character, which is rather sad. Evelyn is a captain now. Her main thing in this chapter is that as a single lady, she wants some male companionship, but her flirting skill is about as high as Carver's chances of losing his virginity. Isabella dominates her interactions here, strong-arming her into finally pursuing Danik.
Hold a moment. You're sweet on the boy.
So help me, whore. I will break you.
Wait, you've gone 4 years without. You must creak like a rusty hinge.
We both place others above ourselves. I happen to do it clothed.
You're splitting hairs, but wishing someone would split yours.
I've had enough of your loose lips. Like many, I'm sure.
Oh, touché, prig.
Slattern!
If I might put this back on track.
Oh, so when a female boss and male employee are doing it is fine, but when the reverse happens... I'll shut up. We invite him on a date, but she doesn't show up, so we are stuck with the motherfucker.
If this was all an attempt to get closer to me through the captain, you're just not my type.
One more shot. Anything to add, Isabella?
Risk, or so help me, I will bed the man myself.
The quest ends with them hooking up, which makes her finally get over her dead Templar loser. The maker did have him. Meryl, mirror stuff. I mean, it's fine, but it's just shit related to fixing the Illuvian. More sweet moments with her are always welcomed. She does become a little more comfortable around people and she engages in lordoms, but overall, not bad.
No one has ever given me a present before. Useful things. Tools or clothes. because I needed them, not just because. Maceranis, I'll find a good place for this.
Isabella is Isabella, nothing has changed. More stuff about her boat and lost plot device. She is by far the greatest in this chapter. Her romance can be started in this, which, yeah, she's hot. Just remember, kids, that STDs are a real thing and Isabella has several unnamed ones.
That will, stop the itch.
Yes. Though I would stay away from women you meet in the port. Pirates tend to dock in unsavory places.
I heard that.
Bug chasing. The act of risking or attempting to contract STDs, usually HIV, deliberately for a sexual thrill.
For a romance option, it's rather generic, to be honest. Casual one-night stand, she doesn't want to bring love into things, she thinks she's unworthy of love, classic overdone shtick. If you are wondering why I'm not showing Fenris's quest, is because you have to trigger it by having him in your party, which I didn't. Thusly, his quest, in which slave shit happens, is lost for me. Though, if you do it, you can get yourself a new slave for the estate, which is always welcomed. Fenris is just an anime character, so it's not like we are losing much. Anders, I think he has a quest in which you have to stop some Templars and he fucking loses his shit. I mean, it's good foreshadowing and stuff, but he really should raise some red flags for anyone dumb enough to trust the I can control it thing.
I couldn't do this without your support, but I know you won't let me lose myself to him.
Varric is still awesome, and he asks us to go to his brother's place, which is crazy as fuck. People are mad, weird shit is happening, and Bartran seems to have gone cuckoo for idle puffs. This quest is more foreshadowing again, mentioning that he is sorry for selling the idol to that woman.
Oh, Varric, please forgive me, my brother. I was just jealous of you. How could I ever compete with you for Mother's love?
You're strong and handsome, and so very smart. What?
Why lie now?
Stories. There's nothing in the world more powerful than a good story.
I do encourage Varric to not kill his dumb bro, but he doesn't really recover, so you can pull the plug on him if you want.
Come on, Varric. Let's go drink until we can't see straight. That'll make you feel better.
Aw, that's sweet. But watching you get sick won't cheer me up much.
In this act, you can find some evil tomes scattered across multiple places, and I urge you to destroy them when you encounter them. Why do this, you ask? Well, by the end you find and fight Xebenkek, which is one of the forbidden ones. Not to be confused with the forgotten ones, that's important. It's pretty much just a tradition. The Warden kills Gax King and the Inquisitor kills Imshale. It's just a cool Easter egg that each protagonist kills a big important demon. You get the cool stuff though. We go into the fate with our dreaming elf boy, access Sebastian, his DLC, and thus unable to interact with already recorded quests.
I cannot join you in this. The Fade is no place for men of faith.
Sir, not appearing in this film.
We enter, Anders gets cranky.
And that's when you press a button, something awesome has to happen. So button awesome.
Isabella betrays us and does a bad pun.
I like big boats, I cannot lie.
Should I turn around now to let you stab me in the back, or would you rather it be a surprise?
You are just the sweetest.
Varric also betrays us, but why would we be mad?
That's what you've got. Join me and you too can be a backstabbing bastard.
We send the boat to the winter. I swear to God, if this comes up to bite me in the ass in Dragon Age 4, I'm gonna murder this bitch. This dwarf sends us in after his sons because apparently we are responsible for his boy's mental faculties, and we rescued them even though one of them literally killed his other brother. We find out about a serial killer who sends flowers to his victims. Holy fuck, Fenris. For a dude who doesn't like mages, you sure are neighbors with a lot of crazy ones. Inside this house there is this dude who's a blood mage and wants revenge on the serial killer for killing his sister. Gosh, a psychopathic serial killer in Kirkwall who kills women, and it just so happens that our mother asked us if we would be okay if she started dating again. I'm sure it's unrelated.
Your mother didn't show up for our weekly visit. Is she ill? She is here. No, Camlin.
Oh god damn it. Act 2 is the best act for Hawk's character development. The killer captures Leandra and he does a Frankenstein shit so that he can revive his own bitch.
All is lost moment.
I have touched the face of the Maker and live.
This scene is a real tearjerker, forcing us to listen to Leandra's final words.
I get to see Bethany again. And your father. But you'll be here alone.
Then Gamlen's desperate pleas. And just like that, Hawk is alone. Our business partner wants us to interrogate some bitch. But he's from Lord of the Rings, so Also, if we are doing TV police tropes, can someone explain to me why nobody said to Hawk, "Hey Hawk, can you watch this guy?" And he said, "I'll be watching him like a hawk." The Irish Hawk wants to see us because we are cool guys and warns us that some idiot thought he was stealing their Krabby Patty secret formula but instead stole a decoy. Why the decoy is still a very formidable toxic gas, don't ask me. The tensions with the Qunari are really picking up. We save the city from a dumb elf who cries about losing their culture. Bitch, you don't even know what your culture is. Keeping in mind with that, oh fuck, some Templars stole Qunari and we are sent there by...
The Grand Cleric, please. Tell her, 3 Qunari leave an estate, and let her finish.
Sarah Hawk.
Sister Patrice.
Mother Patrice.
Hey, Robin! Nobody asked you here, Patrice!
To rescue them. They kill them anyway and we have to decide how to apologize to the Irish Hawk.
We're sorry.
Also, Patrice tries to set us up for the murder of the Viscount's son, but everybody calls bullshit and we can finally say, for the last time...
She's on to you, Patrice. Quick, lie harder.
Can you do anything right, Patrice?
Isabella needs our help, and if we help her, we find out that her missing MacGuffin is the relic the Qunari are after. We go with her and she fucks off with it. Bitch gave me gonorrhea and then left. I swear this game is so realistic. Tension 100, some elves killed people and decided to turn to the Qun. Hell yeah, religious immunity. My horny boy finally has had enough with our chaos. I think he just needed to get laid and starts to attack since he can't return home without the library book because he can't afford the fees. Kirkwall is on fire and people are dying. But now the Qunari are attacking as well, so that's not good. We encounter the Grey Wardens who just... leave? Fine, I didn't want you anyway, porn stash. Meredith, the commander of the Templars, shows up.
I am Knight Commander Meredith.
I'm a bitch and a boss.
Along with the leader of the Circle, Orsino.
Gone. I told them to run.
Beta male, got it.
We team up, I nominate myself as the leader, and we go into the Viscount's keep where...
Here is your Viscount.
Then, Mr. Mayor, did you lose weight? Oh my god, how many identical pairs of twins are there? We fight some more, Isabella returns and gives them the stolen relic, but they also want her. I would be inclined to give her to them, but she is my piece of ass, so we do like men. Well, we do like men if I were playing a warrior. For the mage and rogue, this boss fight is just run run run, cooldown ready, usability, run run run. Also, this romantic one-on-one fight with the Irish Shock, I still think Varric made this all up. Made for a cool trailer, I guess. We win and we are finally crowned as the champion of Kirkwall, the savior of the City of Chains, and the most eligible bachelorette in town.
You seem confused, Seeker.
The champion killed the Arashok in single combat? It just sounds so... romantic.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you developed a case of hero worship.
Why? Because I have respect for a woman who built herself from nothing?
Mm-hmm.
Beep beep bitch, you're gay.
Act 3. Giant monsters all-out attack. No mayor, so Meredith takes over. Nice surge you got there. The Grand Cleric tries to take both sides and I'm sure being impartial would work out for her. As for companions, I'll start with Fenris. His quest is about his sister reaching out to him and then getting surprised when she tries to sell him into slavery again. I convince him not to kill her, especially after he already killed his master, but it bugged out and I couldn't access his home, so he will remain unloyal towards me if I send it to mages. His story is about forgiveness and moving forward with his life, which is kinda nice. Meryl wants us to go back to get help from the spirits, I mean demons. We crawl all the way up only to find the place emptied out. The keeper thought Meryl would fuck up, so she accepted the demon instead. We kill her, go outside. Careful what you pick here or you'll slaughter a clan of, well, I wouldn't call them nice. Meryl is distraught and this is the culmination of her character development, debating if her sacrifices were worth it and whether or not her people deserve her.
They might ruin themselves, but I'm sure they'll feel very self-righteous about it.
Straight up fact!
Anders died in Awakening. This is not Anders. His quest is boring and we gather materials for his cure. After that we distract the Grand Cleric enough for him to do something in the Chantry. Nothing suspicious there. Unlike the other companions, his development happens later on, so I'll touch upon that later.
Warning! If you are a child, you are not safe around me!
Sebastian's quest is as boring as he is. The Divine wants Kirkwall burned to the fucking ground and sends an agent. We kill some crazy blood mages. Again. And oh hey, is that Liliana?
Yes. I knew the hero of Ferelden. She is an excellent queen for King Alistair.
Like my bitch?
Well, that wasn't the plan. I mean, I just bought you the...
Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, returning, we can encourage the Grand Cleric to relocate, which she refuses.
What would you say to an exciting trip to Orlais? I hear the Grand Cathedral's lovely this time of year.
Nope.
I hoped she will not regret this decision later. As for Sebastian, his quest revolves around whether or not he should go claim his lands. Riveting.
Nobody tells a prince what to do. Or who to do it with.
Hawk, you... Don't think I'm not tempted, but I can't. I knelt and swore before the Maker that I would take no bride but Andraste.
I'm just talking about two people. One night and forgetting all your troubles.
If I broke my vows to be with you, I wouldn't be worthy of you. I already have enough sins to atone for.
Fuck me in the ass cause I love Jesus.
Evelyn's quest is about how the people think that she is going too soft on the guards. We found out that the dickhead captain from Act 1 was making those claims and we end on a sweet note of the guards pledging themselves to her. It's a quick quest and the rest is mostly about character stuff.
You know, those stains never came out.
You are horrible. Every inch.
You love it, big girl. And you owe me for the bottle.
You and me are straight, right? Straight?
Isabella apologizes for almost killing an entire fucking town and we hook up again. Her quest is about getting her ship back from this loser by pretending we are betraying her.
Remember that time you ran off with the Tome of Coslin? This is like that, only funnier.
Did you just hold a grudge?
This logic makes too much sense actually. Anyway, she gets her big boat and she doesn't leave. That's sweet for once. My boy Varric is next and his story is about how his real estate business is going to shit because his brother's house is haunted. Once again we go in and see magic demonic shit happening and find the shard of the idol. Varric wants to keep it and examine it, and the game portrays that as a dangerous bad move, but I figure the writers realize that if he is the one telling the story, having the shard turn him crazy is rather bullshit. You know, like in that shitty Lovecraft book. The one in which the protagonist describes how terrified he was about the fish people after being turned into a fish people and narrating the story.
Me nervous? Nah. Cursed, insanity-causing shards of evil make me feel warm and fuzzy.
See? Nothing to worry about.
New quests. We can finally own the mine by killing off yet another dragon. I swear to God, Varric. We can help out Gamut by reuniting him with his daughter, learning all about the gem and giving us some info about this secret rogue organization which was barely touched upon in Origins, the Friends of Red Jenny.
She looks nothing like you. Thank the Maker for small miracles,
Really? Hey.
Everything's made to be broken.
Just like with the tomes, you can find some scrolls scattered around and at the end you fight another shitty demon, but this time it's not really that lore important.
Summoned a horror. Of course I did. Why wouldn't I do that?
around, but it's rather interesting that it's right next to Anders' clinic. The next quests are given out by our main romantic duo, Meredith and Orsino. Meredith sends us after 3 escape mages, one elven blood mage who goes after his wife, which we were standing right next to them. Why are we just watching? Next mage is this lady who adopted multiple kids, got into crazy blood magic shit and now goes around ara ara. Fuck this kid's voice.
The Templars made Evelina angry. They made her change. It wasn't her fault. When it was over, she was ashamed.
Also, we kill her too. Next up, some virgin. A sweaty incel who got some cash from his rich parents and tried to pick up ladies by saying he's a blood mage. Isabella?
I just don't want to die a virgin.
Emil wants to live a little. Why don't you give him a hand, Isabella?
You don't mean... No. No! He's revolting. I do just fine whoring myself out without your help, thanks.
Professionals have standards.
Okay, fine, we're letting him go. Kirkwall is no place for virgins. Next up, the mage lady we helped out in Act 1 goes crazy too, kidnaps our brother and tries to kill us. But as Hawk puts it...
Your friends don't know much about my relationship with my brother, do they? I will not negotiate until Carver is standing beside me.
Anyway, we kill her and that's about it really. Though Samson shows up and genuinely wants to help, I sure hope nothing bad happens to him, Inquisition. So their plan was to convince me to join the rebellion against Meredith. But while the Templars are offering me a peaceful solution, the oppressed mages are going fucking apeshit. Some Antivan guy hires us to kill a dangerous assassin who helped the elves and even told them where he is so they don't get in trouble for him. Such a psychopath. Oh wait, is that Zevran? What the fuck is wrong with your face, dude? Anyway, we help him out and yeah, you're right, dude. What the fuck is everyone doing?
Why they insist on thinking they can kill people like you and the Warden, I will never guess.
If you take her along, since they know each other, Isabella will sleep with him. But if you are in a relationship with her, it turns into a threesome. Noise. There is also a bittersweet goodbye to Bodan, which does wonders for his character development since so far this is his last appearance. King Alistair is here and he is funny as always.
Right, I'm Alistair. King of Ferelden. And this is Tegan, my uncle. Sort of.
Interacting with just about everyone who makes sense.
Say, weren't you a Grey Warden once? That's the rumor. Wait. Weren't you? That's the rumor. Well, I suppose I should get back to the old ball and chain.
The fuck did you just call me? This act is pretty much just an elongated ending, so I figured I would talk about the DLC here. First off, Mark of the Assassin. If you don't know Felicia Day, this will make no sense to you, but trust me, it's boring. Watch the Nailed It episode with her, it's pretty funny. So she's a huge Dragon Age fan and she got to write her own canon fanfiction. A story in which all the characters love her and she's so cool and so powerful. I would probably do the same if I were her. Her character is referred to as Talis. She is an elven follower of the Qun. After a quick ambush...
Why? It's not always an ambush. Alright. Maybe sometimes it's an ambush.
She asks us to go to the party of this Orlesian dude. I mean, she mentions free drinks and a big fucking jewel to steal. I
imagine if we did this, it'd be together, wouldn't it?
That's the idea. Or did you have something else in mind?
I just think we should get to know one another.
I think I'd like that.
This rich Orlesian dude hosts a party regarding hunting wyverns. We walk around, get every fucking sort of detail about how to bait one, and we catch a big motherfucker. Some Orlesian bitch tries to steal our hunt, but he forgets that we are the champion and he's French, so we win. The party is pretty much the best thing about this DLC. It's just a continuous comedy routine. It even has the best piece of acting in all of Dragon Age 2. No, I dare say in anything, ever.
If I die, make sure the world knows. I died at Chateau Haine!
Acting. We get in, have to choose how we like to play the game, and it switches into this shitty Assassin's Creed parody. Here Hawk walks around at the speed of 2 vegetables per hour.
And that's when you press a button, something awesome has to happen. So button awesome.
We do a Gordon Ramsay impression which will help us out in the final fight.
Sounds like it's raining. It's not. It's those popcorn canals time.
And we get found out.
I would have said he couldn't compare to your awesomeness. but that might have seemed petty.
No worries, we have a rescue party.
Oh, we're lost. Just like old times.
Maker, I hope not. I was an arse.
Oh, so you are self-aware at least. But guys, Dalish is so cool, she doesn't need help to escape. Anyway, the jewel promised is just our payment. She is after something a Qunari loser is trying to trade. We do some dumb puzzles. Long, kindergarten level puzzles. Yellow and blue make green. Only to get what looks like the best armor in the game, and it's
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Oh goddammit. We exit, fight some idiots, fight some Qunari, witness the trade in which the oh so important thing is a list of names, spy names. We do a shitty fight in which Varric probably had to explain to Cassandra what Monster Hunter is, and we end up on a top tier joke from Lady Hawk.
You filthy whore!
Thank you for the lovely party. I'll treasure the belt. Looks like the Duke has fallen from grace.
Dalish won't give you the list, but if you are nice to her during this storyline, you get to kiss her at the end. Fine, I guess. Personally, I find the entire conflict about the Empress of Orlais kinda boring. Mostly because she's right, and we kinda fuck everything up by making sure that that list doesn't go to the Empress now. Spoilers for Inquisition, but Qunari spies are really fucking dangerous. Still on Felicia Day though, she got to write for a fucking internet miniseries. Dragon Age Redemption. Please watch this, it's horrible. Nothing makes sense lore-wise. At some point a Templar uses a phylactery like it's bloody Google Maps.
Better to happen young. It's less painful that way.
Some grown-ass woman has sex with an underage boy because she is bored. I mean, he's a lucky guy, but still. I'm serious, it's trash. Go fucking watch it.
And fought beside mighty Templar Cassandra, in fact.
Head of the Seekers.
The two things of note here are this Fenharel plot device, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's good foreshadowing for Inquisition. And see this dude in the Halloween makeup? That's Doug Jones. What's wrong? You don't recognize him without the makeup? Does this help? How the hell did they have enough money for him?
I like to.
Or control it.
You blush, it just encourages me.
Enemies, huh?
Next up, the Legacy DLC. The Carta keeps trying to kill me and Carver. I mean, I don't really care about Carver, but I was trying to sleep and the only dwarf I want to find in my bed is Varric.
Oh, I'm sure this is all a misunderstanding. Later, we'll all have tea and we'll laugh.
Oh, your name is Hawk. I thought it was Locke.
Yes, it's all a big joke. Typical.
We go in, massacre them while they keep screeching about the blood of the hawk. Varric finds one of his friends and calls us a slut.
This is Hawk, the one whose blood you want to drink or bathe in or whatever. But if you're after eternal youth, I've got to tell you, she's no virgin.
He's right. After that we hear that our father is responsible for locking a really scary darkspawn in here with blood magic. I swear to Andraste is the first lesson in the Circle Blood Sacrifice 101. Some Grey Wardens are here and we dive in to get our father's staff. Oh, and if you go right the fuck up, you can do this shitty fight. We keep going further in with the aid of this rambling, decrepit old corpse called Larius, do more puzzles, upgrade our gear, fight Darkspawn, and get to the bottom of this by encountering another company of Wardens who say that Corypheus is one of the Magisters who broke into the Golden City.
Don't do it, Hawk. You can't trust a Darkspawn to honor any deal.
Oh, hey, you!
Anders, what the hell did you just say? You met the fucking architect. That dude had a lot of flaws, but he was loyal and kept his promises. He is more trustworthy than some party members I know. We break the seals and encounter Corypheus.
Bring me hence. I must speak with the first acolyte.
His voice is so boring, I wonder if that will change. This is a very cool conversation, making us encounter such an important character and gives us a lot of what I consider genuine lore stuff. I mean, it's cool and all, but our characters just talk to him like...
You're a Darkspawn. Dark spawn. Ravaging the deep roads. Spreading the blight. Does this ring a bell?
The light. We sought the golden light. You offered the power of the gods themselves.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
Shitty boss fight happens in which you have to revive all of your party members because the AI is making them walk right into his fucking rays. The final cutscene happens in which the corpse is standing ominously behind us. Ender speaks more mage bullshit.
Corypheus really was an ancient magister. I always thought the Black City was just a story. What else might the Chantry know that we don't?
Damn, Anders, way to make this revelation all about you, honey. And we have one final conversation with him. Oh, come on, even the characters call bullshit on how he talks weird now.
Why are you talking like that?
My head is clear now. Without Corypheus's call, I can think again. I thank you for my freedom. I will never forget what you did here. The prison stands no more. My gratitude you have for my freedom.
Our heroes, everybody! And then they all act surprised when Cory is back as the main antagonist in Inquisition.
I live, bitch!
One more thing though.
You'll forgive me if I take a liberty or two.
Well, it's not like that has stopped you before. Sweet scene with your brother and your mother's hallucination, and we end knowing all is well. Except it's not! During this entire quest you are screaming for Hawk to just leave. But you are not allowed to! If Hawk was not there, Tedas would have been a much safer place. Gosh, I love character agency. I know that Dragon Age 2 is supposed to set up the next game, but can we please not have Hawk destroy everything? Still on bullshit spin-offs, Dragon Age Dawn of the Seeker. It's a CG anime movie about... Is that supposed to be Cassandra? Holy shit, is that a skirt? Oh my god, the bitch is using cancel commands. Flemeth was impressed Hawk killed one ogre. Imagine if she saw Cassandra. What the fuck is going on? Oh, it's anime, so of course we have to have lollies in Dragon Age now. Okay, so this movie sucks. Once again, nothing makes sense and it's just dumb, boring action. The voice actors are pretty good, but yeah, Cassandra deserved way fucking better.
This isn't the time or the place. You fool.
In my pants.
Oh, we go back to the plot, finally. Okay, so we go into the gallows, try to stop some fighting, and then...
Oh my god!
What the fuck, Anders? This scene is so harrowing.
I removed the chance of compromise. Because there is no compromise.
But then Sebastian's voice actor says the line and I just lose it.
Elfina, no! Make her no!
Acting.
Oh yeah, Alec, that was great. A lunch in 5? Have to choose between mages and Templars. I will choose the Templars and I will explain later. We deal with Anders for committing a terrorist act by killing him. We go fight in the streets and funny how many blood mages show up. Anyway, Orsino admits to something I would refer to later and then becomes a Bloodborne boss fight which we melt. Meredith goes all power crazy and what the hell is going on?
Bullshit. That's not what really happened.
The best part about her fight is that is an in-game voice, and if some characters don't get stunned, well, Carver, I could kiss you. Epic finale, Varric tells us an epilogue, and then we end with Liliana and Cassandra planning something important. Final thoughts. I must stress that this is not a disaster of a game like many people paint it as. If you do get invested, it really does accomplish a lot in terms of a smaller prelude story. Hell, it has multiple layers of family, friendship, the hardships of being a refugee, and many other fourth grade literary themes. For companions, let's just jump in.
Wake me up inside.
I'm a very big fan of Fenris. His voice actor sounds absolutely orgasmic and his struggles are portrayed very well. His hatred towards mages is justifiable and unlike other narrow-minded companions, he is willing to admit that not all people from his hated group are evil. You become his closest friend and he gets along with everyone, even a little bit with Anders. And that's why this line in the comic made me call bullshit, but he was nice enough to read out this piece of dialogue, so we are all good.
And you appear to be a very good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you certainly are, aren't you?
It's very hard not to like Meryl. Her innocence and determination are pleasant and her conversations are pretty wholesome. Her time in Kirkwall is marked by Varric and Isabella, who take the role of her parents and educate her about the real world while still protecting her. I still think it's bullshit that you can only allow her to sleep in your giant empty estate if you two are involved romantically. I mean, yeah, as your best friend I'm fine with you sleeping in the filthy rat-infested cesspool. Overall pretty sweet character.
Feel so holy, 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 holy.
But Sebastian isn't really that bad. While his voice actor is stilted, his dialogue is not that horrible. In any other fantasy game, Sebastian would probably be the fan favorite. But in Dragon Age, he really is lackluster to say the least. I do enjoy his company and his interactions with the others are rather fun, but his nobility really takes over most of the time. He is not my favorite, but I will certainly be excited to see more of him in the future. Okay, but whoever had the idea to make the romance option a sexless snooze fest should get fired. Evelyn is fantastic. It's fitting that she's not romanceable since she is Hawke's big sister no matter what. Her story is well told, she is determined and hardworking. The Pharrell done with your Legion name really did well for herself. Her character doesn't change much, but her interactions are wonderful and I'm really glad she is in this game. Everything you know is wrong. Anders sucks. I'm sorry. I don't know if it was intended or not, but his character is just bad. The whole oppressed people being worse than the oppressor sometimes comes up and it's weird. He just isn't worth it. He uses you and it's just a very toxic character to be around. Even when presented with facts, he still bitches and moans like an angry toddler. He victimizes himself so fucking much. I do feel bad for him, but honestly, death is the best thing that would happen to this extremist piece of shit. When he acts like old Anders though, he is pretty funny. Isabella is just fucking great. Her design is fantastic, her backstory is touching, and her worldview is very encouraging. The comics expanded on her, but this game really turns into the Isabella show sometimes. Her romance is sweet and her voice lines are both sad and uplifting at the same time. She interacts positively with every fucking companion, even with Sebastian, who would be her total fucking opposite. What's sweet is that her storyline is borderline a cheesy romantic adventure book. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Mom and Varric is the best. I can't really call anything he does as a character development because he starts out great and remains that way. He is funny, intelligent and just pleasant to be around. He takes great care of his friends and he's genuinely a nice person. Everything happening in this game is his imagination, and if it is, it's clear that Varric respects Hawke a lot. Something the next game will put even more focus on. Bethany was not in this playthrough, but I'll skim over her too. Your little sister is just great. Unlike some other sibling, she is compassionate, shows affection, open with her weaknesses, and it's someone I can see any player invested in protecting her. Carver, on the other hand, he's a self-proclaimed ass. He's a douche who is extremely envious of you and keeps complaining about being left in your shadow. Hell, some of his lines are downright malicious towards you. But he's not so bad. Joining the Templars is good for him, and I bring him along in all DLC quests just because I enjoy hearing more of his douchey mouth. Only me. Because she shows up on that screen, unfortunately Talis counts as a party member. And she sucks. Like, I take a piece on Anders because he's bitching at me, but at least he's supporting something that actually makes sense. Talis is trying to preach me the Qun. And I'm like, no. Also, her writing is like she made her own fucking fanfiction because it's boring, you know, like everybody fucking loves her, she's good at everything, it's just boring. Still, it's a Bioware character, so it's not entirely unredeemable, but yeah, I don't like her. But you know, I'd still be excited if I saw her in Dragon Age 4, where she would just probably bitch at me for not understanding how the Qun might have destroyed Solos before he was even born. Onto story, Dragon Age 2, a game focused around the Mage-Templar dilemma, doesn't make a good case for the mages. Templars do use tranquility a lot, but the worst action in these games are done by mages. They keep protesting that not all mages are evil, and yet 99% of them are proficient in blood magic. I know Kirkwall is probably the influence there, not only by its chaotic nature and Templar rule, but in lore, Kirkwall is probably the place the Magisters sacrificed the slaves to enter the Golden City, so the Veil is weak and the demon activity is high. Everyone is walking around with a constant voice in the back of their head like, "Kill your family! Kill your family! Kill your family!" Now, why would I start with the Templars instead of the mages? Who do the mages have? Your sister if you don't play as a mage, and Alan, I guess. You could say Orsino, but after hearing that he was covering up for the serial killer who killed Leandra, I just couldn't stand the dude. While seemingly open to discussions, he is hiding facts and manipulates things just to get stuff done. He is a bad person by the time you meet him. The Templars, on the other hand, have Carver, Cullen, Thrusk, Samson, and Kieran. Why shouldn't I align myself with the guys who are just honorable, nice, justified people? Even Meredith was a very capable leader at the start of the game, helping out the refugees and alike. Her corruption to the idol is a slow one, and if we compare her to Bartrand, her resistance is only a testament to her willpower. She goes crazy and does bullshit too, but unlike with Orsino, who is conscious about being a piece of shit, Meredith at least has the insanity aspect to her. I don't have much to say about the Arishok, he was just a cool and really honorable guy. Everything about his storyline and the terrorization of the Qun is really fucking well done. I don't have much to complain about, Act 2 is the peak of this game. On to Hawke, their story really is fascinating. They get more influence and wealth at the cost of their family, but that usually happens to people who lose sight of their family. Hawke never once dismisses their family and shows clear affection towards them. It's rather sad, really. We see a character accomplish so much and lose even more. But this does lead us into what I consider Dragon Age 2 main's theme, the concept of a found family and a found home. Kirkwall is a dangerous, chaotic, godforsaken, filthy piece of shit. But it's my piece of shit. This is the city that took Hawke in when he had nothing, and throughout the game I have to say that this city felt like a great character. As for family, all of Hawke's friends act very much like a typical family dynamic, and I really enjoy that. Overall, is Dragon Age 2 a good game? Hell no. Do I enjoy it? Of course. It's definitely an acquired taste, but I do recommend it. Though I don't blame anyone who dropped it. Leave a like or a dislike, but then again, if you watch this entire thing, even if you didn't like it, damn, respect. It's really fucking weird to say YouTube shit like, subscribe, but you're cool, right? I bet you're wondering what I'll do next. Me too. Oh, and one more thing, Mr. Varric.
How did you know about the parts you weren't there for?